All right, so welcome to another day. Today is the day after the elections down in the US, and there's so much uncertainty, there's so much unknown. So our practice today will be about choosing presence, about being here, and allowing your practice to be a protest. Yoga is about yoking or to bind. And so often we think about this on the individual level of binding our breath, our movement, our mind, our soul, but so much more of binding the collective and binding from different energies and recognizing what's going on in the world. But what tends to happen in yoga is that we value or see the positive, the love and the light, and we don't also acknowledge and honor the darkness as well. So our practice today will be about quieting the mind, finding clarity, because when we find clarity, you can name it to tame it. And when we find that ability to recognize and separate as much as it is to bind, that's when we can be in protest. That's when we can know what is right, what is wrong. We recognize what feels right in our bodies, so you can make a decision that is uniquely just for you. So for our practice today, I would encourage you to grab a blanket, maybe a pillow, a block. If you need to light a candle, have a glass of water, glass of coffee, or tea, please feel free to do so. Playlist is linked here. And when you are ready with your playlist, Common Ground Grounded 14, hitting play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so up to you for how you would like to take this first bit of pranayama, breath regulation, breath control. For some, you may choose to be seated. For others, you may choose to lie down. So as you start to settle and arrive on your mat, know that you have so much choice in how you choose to move, how you choose to breathe. And by saying no to me, that is you saying yes to you. Regular breathing in and out through your nose, your mouth, whatever suits you. And maybe you come back to that name it to tame it. Noticing your thoughts. Maybe silently saying thinking. Thinking. Or maybe you feel the temperature of the room, clothing on your skin. Silent repeating, feeling. Feeling. Maybe you hear the sounds of music. Are there sounds in your space? Hearing. Hearing. So check out what you notice here. Have about a minute or so thinking, feeling, and hearing. And for our friends who are just joining us, here's the playlist if you choose. Option to be seated or lying down. Hearing, thinking, feeling. Letting go of this awareness. Maybe you want to bring movement into your body, whether seated or lying down, maybe turning your head side to side. Rolling out your wrists, your ankles. And then maybe reset. We'll still find a little bit more for our breath work. Seated or standing, not standing, seated or lying down. Placing your right hand on your chest, your left hand on your stomach, finding rolling breath. And what this is you breathe in through your stomach, up through your chest, and then exhale out your mouth. So it's an inhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale. So breathing in through your mouth, exhale through your mouth. And at any point in time, if you want to slow this down or speed it up or skip it, please feel free to do so. So continue with this breath. You might notice your head becomes a little fuzzy. Physical or emotional sensations might arise. And you can choose to meet that however you want. So if you don't want to go there, you don't have to today. We're using this breath to regulate, control ourselves. Feel the vibrations of being alive. 3 more times. 2. Last one. And then one more big breath in, breathing in through your mouth. Pausing at the top, holding here. Could you soften your skin, relax your shoulders, let your eyes be heavy, still holding that breath. Can you soften through your hips, your jaw? Stay for 4, 3, 2. Release slowly out your mouth. Pausing at the end, holding here. Noticing where your mind goes. Can you stay here, present in your body? 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath in and out. Maybe bringing in some movement again into your body. If you're lying down, you could stay there. If you're seated, you can stay where you are as well. If you want to switch, go for it. Finding our last bit of breathing exercises here, coming into Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. This is one of my favorites because it really helps clean your sinus system and regulate the different hemispheres on your brain. A lot of right, a lot of left. I don't know about you, but with this US elections, I'm just so confused. There's just so much confusion and uncertainty. So let's bring us back here. If you need to, you might need to blow your nose if you're feeling a little stuffy. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your index finger and middle finger, place them in between your eyebrows, plugging your left nostril with your right ring finger, and then breathe in through your right nostril. Pause and hold, close your right nostril with your right thumb, and then exhale, release out your left nostril. Inhale through the left. Pause and hold. Exhale right. Inhale right. Pause. Exhale left. Inhale left. Pause. Exhale right. Inhale right. Pause. Exhale left. So continuing this at your own pace here. We'll be here for about 1 minute. And if that right arm starts to get a little tired, you can always bring your left hand onto your elbow, supporting your arm. Just under 30 seconds here. When you've completed your last cycle, releasing your hands down into your lap or on your body, take a big breath in. Exhale out your nose. And either from lying down or seated, slowly make your way into tabletop on your mat. Movement will be very gentle today. So know that the invitation's there. If you would like to find something a little bit more spicy, please feel free to do so. Again, think about your practice as a protest. This is your way of saying that you are slowing down. You're honoring the rhythms and cycles of the seasons and your body. It's not always about what you need to achieve, what you need to do, crossing things off your list. We're moving slowly to connect to our bodies. Tuning in so you can get clear as to what your yes is and what your no is. Five more breaths in freestyle movement, whatever you need. And then when you're ready, knees go wide, big toes touch, shifting your hips back, maybe coming into this shell-like stretch. And if you've got that blanket or a pillow, you can use it to support you underneath you. And adjust this shape to suit your body. So maybe for some, knees might be a little bit wider. For others, knees might be a little bit closer. Your arms could be reaching outstretched. Maybe they're reaching behind. There's no right or wrong way of how you need to move or position yourself here. So as you make your way into this restorative and humble shape, know that you are showing up when you need to, and you are showing up when it matters. So take this moment to recognize that in yourself, that you are here when it matters. It might not be every day, and that's okay. But you know that when you need to, you are. Join me in taking a gentle breath in through your nose And then exhale out your mouth. Hands down in front of your knees, slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Letting your head be the last thing that rise. Opening through your chest, maybe your fingertips come behind you. Lifting your heart, your chest up to you. Your knees can stay, or your bum can stay down on the ground, or maybe you want to lift your bum up here. As you exhale, bring your hips back down. Slide your hands along the mat. Curl your spine like an angry cat. And as you inhale, allow your stomach to soften. Gaze goes up. Curl and round back into your shell stretch. Slide your palms down along your mat. Bring your chest forward and down, maybe into puppy dog shape. Maybe that chin rests on the ground, maybe it doesn't. Your hands can be down close beside you or open wider. See if you can push the tops of your feet down into the ground. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, shift your bum back up. Curl and round into your shell stretch. Hands slide along your mat onto your knees. Curl and round here. Inhale, bring your chest forward. Maybe your hands down, shifting your hips up. Hips coming back down. Walking your hands out into your cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, puppy dog. So many animals. You can slide through maybe into a cobra or an up dog. Gosh, we're really going with all the animals today. Lower down, push back into your shell stretch. We'll find that a few more times on our own. So dragging your fingertips along the ground, curl and round. Inhale, chest comes forward, fingertips behind, lifting through your chest, maybe lifting your hips. Bum comes back down. Walk your hands out. Cats, cow, puppy dog, cobra, or up dog. Lowering down, push back, shell stretch. And then continue this movement, maybe actually 2 more times. I know I said 2 before. This is a space for you to play. So maybe you want to add something in, maybe you want to take something out. And if you forget the flow or the sequence, that's totally fine. You can just move on your own. And then wherever you end up or choose to finish at, we'll come to lie down on our stomachs. Slide your right knee up towards your right elbow. Then reach the hand up off your mat. Left hand threads down and through. So first coming here, coming into a shoulder stretch on that right side. JK, left side. Maybe you rest your chin onto your shoulder. For some, maybe your left temple comes down to the ground. And then if that feels okay, maybe you actually start to open up through your chest, leaning back. For some, that right arm might come down flat. For others, if your arm is kind of dangling midair, it might feel nice to find some stretches through your shoulder. Finding any type of movement here. Right hand comes down behind you. Keep turning towards the ceiling. So you end up on your back. Knees can be bent or your feet flat out. It's the same thing, or legs extended, up to you. And then wrap your left arm over top of the right, like you're giving yourself a big squeeze here. Maybe you can draw those elbows closer together and down along your back. It might feel nice to find a little bit of movement through your low back, so pelvic rock here. Creating space through that low back, and then imprinting your spine down. A little bit of a massage. And then this time, reach your right arm overhead, roll over onto your right side. Draw your left knee up towards your chest. And then maybe that right hand extends over towards the left side of your mat. Left arm reaches back into your twist. And again, for some, that arm might come down to the ground. Others, you might want to find some movement, opening through the front of your chest. Left fingertips down to the ground, turning your chest open towards the ceiling. Shifting your hips underneath you, opposite arm reaches on top. Maybe you grab opposite shoulder blades. Draw your elbows up towards you and then shoulder blades down your back. This time for movement through the hips, maybe you hike your right hip up over towards your right rib cage and then bring it back down, left side over towards the left. So it's kind of like you're an accordion, folding in half, opening through one side of your oblique and then the other. Ooh. And as you find this movement, can you try and keep your knees as still as possible? So really isolating the movement here. Draw your knees in towards your chest, rock a little bit side to side. Right knee stays drawn in. Extend your left leg down long. Perhaps find a little bit more length through the back of your neck. Softening in your shoulders here. Right knee maybe comes over more towards your right armpit, and your right hand reaches to the inside of your leg for the outside of your foot. And as you bring your heel closer up towards the ceiling, can you keep that generous bend in your right knee? And then feel free to stay here, or if you want to turn this into a supine pigeon, you bring that right inner arch of your foot closer towards your chest. Maybe you hook that right sole into your left elbow crook. Oh. And some days it might feel nice, some days not. To make it a little bit more gentle on yourself, you could bring that left foot down on the ground and then rest your head back down. Maybe sway your hips again side to side. Ooh. Draw that right knee back in towards you. Maybe interlace your hands behind your right thigh, stretching your right foot up towards the ceiling. You point and flex your foot. Maybe you'd like to walk your hands up your leg, bringing your foot closer towards you. And then release that foot down, drawing your left knee in, maybe making circles through that hip bone. Left knee over towards your left armpit. Flexing your foot, pointing it up towards the ceiling, left hand through the inside of your left leg. And again, your right foot could be out extended, or maybe you bend the knee, planting your foot on the ground. Feel free to stay here or draw that heel in towards you. Half or supine pigeon. Ooh. And it's okay if one hip wants to lift up a lot. Maybe you notice that your weight shifts over towards the left. That's okay. What's nice about finding your pigeon supine is that there's no weight in your knee and you can actually relax yourself down. So you might notice that you breathe a little bit more easily than you would if you found the shape, say with your chest towards the ground. And as you're here in your half pigeon, could you breathe a little more intentionally, not only through the front side of your heart, but also notice the back side of your heart. The connection to the ground underneath you. The connection of your hips. Your right heel. At your leisure, left knee comes in towards you. Maybe straightening your left foot up towards the sky. Again, invitations there if you want it. Walking your hands up your leg. Draw that knee back in towards you. Plant your feet down on the ground. Roll over either onto your left or your right side. You're going to open up through the chest here. So what this will look like is actually bringing yourself onto your stomach. Your right arm extends out long beside you. Turn your right temple down to the ground. Left fingertips are on the ground off your mat, and push into your hand to maybe start to roll open. So this left foot might stay planted in front of your right. It might go behind it. So some people may experience some deep sensations through the front of that right shoulder or through your chest. And what do you need to do to be present here in this moment? Is it focusing on your breath? Is it maybe noticing different objects in your room? When you're ready, come back through center, switch sides, left arm extends long out beside you. Left temple rests down. Ooh, and then finding your heart opener here. And can you notice what you're holding on to? Maybe it's your jaw, that shoulder. Maybe it's a specific outcome you were looking for. And I encourage you to name it. Name what you are holding on to right now. Come back through center. One more time for the right. This time your arm is going to be bent into cactus shape. Palm facing down. Elbows at 90 degrees. Rest your right temple down. Ooh, and then maybe open that left foot over towards the right. Hitting some different spots, maybe a little bit further down your chest. Stay here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With control, roll back through center, switching sides over to the left. And again, notice what locked up, what is tensing here. What areas could you breathe into? Stay for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back through center. Heels are kind of towards your bum. Windshield wiper your legs side to side, releasing your low back. And bring your knees close together. Maybe your feet zip up. Reach your right arm back, grabbing the top of your foot. Left hand reaches back, grabs the top of your foot. Can you try and push your hip bones down into the ground? Roll your shoulders back and down, and then start to push your feet into your hands into your feet. So firing up through the back line of your body, noticing your quads here. How is your breath? Could you maybe breathe in through your mouth and then exhale out your nose? In through your mouth. Exhale out through your nose. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Release your feet. Plant your palms. Push back into your shell stretch. Sway your hips a little bit side to side. Bring yourself back on up to tabletop. Crisscross your ankles. Bring your bum down. Slide your legs out in front of you. And then your choice for your Janu Shirshasana, which is kind of like a single leg stretch. Right sole of your foot goes to your inner left thigh. And this is like what's going to work for you in your body. So for some, you might choose to fold over your left leg. For others, you might find that twisty, left hand on your right knee, reaching over. You could also reach towards the center, towards the right. So choose something that's going to work for you today. Allowing yourself to curl and round. Slowly rising on up, plant your right hand at the back of your mat, shifting your hips up, reach your left arm overhead. Think about one big line from your left fingertips, your shoulder, your hip, your knee, all the way down to your toes. Can you feel that opening all through the left side of your body here? Maybe push your hips up a little bit more. And then bring your bum back down to the ground, switching sides, extend your right leg out, left knee in. And then same thing, you find your shape that's gonna work for you. There's no right or wrong here, but listening to what's gonna work for your body. Rising on up, plant your left hand down at the back of your mat. Shift your hips up, right arm reaches up. Arcing like a rainbow here, one big long line. Opening through your right armpit, your right obliques. Can you try and create a little more space between every finger on that right hand? Maybe reach your hips up a little bit more. And then shift your bum back down. Good job. Plant your feet, windshield wiper your knees side to side. Oh. And then any which way is going to work for you, make your way down onto your back. And again, if you have that blanket or a pillow or something you want to place underneath you, please feel free to do so. And we'll finish off with one final version of breath or pranayama. And this breath is called lion's breath. So it's really great at releasing facial tension. We hold actually quite a bit of tension like around our nose, our sinuses, our jaw. I don't know about you, but when I notice or feel like I'm starting to get sick, I just feel everything here and it transforms into tension. So what lion's breath is it's a breathing in through your nose and then exhale, making a sound out from the back of your throat. So very similar to Ujjayi. And then you stick out your tongue at the same time. So it's like a, so it opens all through here. And then what your eyes do is they actually go up to the space between your eyebrows. So some people might cross their eyes. Some people might look up. It looks like this. I know it feels silly and don't worry, it looks silly. But let's try this 5 times. So take a big breath in. Exhale, lion's breath. 4. Make some noise. 3. 2. Last one. And then come back to your normal breathing, whatever that is. Notice how you feel. With so much uncertainty from the US elections to what's happening even here in Canada, coming out of our own elections, coming out of pandemic, from potentially facing lockdown to already being in lockdown again. There's a lot of uncertainty. So name it. Name what you are feeling. Name what you are noticing. Nothing you need to fix, nothing you need to change. Allow yourself to name it to find clarity. Maybe name it to quiet the mind. So I'd like to read you just a little something from Michelle Cassandra Johnson, who has a book called Skill in Action, which is about radicalizing your yoga practice to create a just world. And what she wrote is, yoga has the power to alter how someone experiences themselves. It has the capacity to reveal new insights. Yoga can inspire one to take risks and to grow. It can motivate one to commit to a daily practice, which is a commitment to themselves and their personal transformation. Yoga engenders internal transformation. In this sense, it is about the personal, but not void of the connection of the person with the larger culture. Yoga builds community, changes hearts, and invites us to evolve into the best version of ourselves, individually and collectively. So again, our yoga practice is a form of protest, that ability to slow down and be present, to connect to what is real, what is true, and for you to take care of yourself so that in turn you can take care of others, and that collective energy and that collective healing. So for these last few moments, choose an option in how you need to move or lie or rest in your body. Something that honors you and where you're at today. And know that you chose presence and that you're here when it matters. And if all you do today is breathe, know that that will be enough. That the weight of the world does not lie solely on your shoulders. But if we can each do our part, we can begin a collective healing of the earth. So coming into any shape that works for your body, whatever you need for the last minute or two of our practice. So to finish our time here today, I encourage you to stay in any shape that you need, to finish lying on your back. And if you have the time, have a cup of tea, grab a glass of water before you go back to work. If you have 5-10 minutes, maybe journal and take a few moments to still be able to breathe. And take whatever you need to take care of yourself today. And bring your hands in any shape that represents any in the practice for you. And we'll close out our time with one final breath. So when you're ready, gentle breath in and out. Thank you so much, everyone.